The only reason to ever give a speech is to change the world. John F. Kennedy. Although this 10-minute speech might not be able to change the whole wide world, trust me, what I'll be talking about might create a big impact in all your lives and maybe inspire you to change others as well. Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. I'm beyond grateful to see all your lovely faces on this beautiful Wednesday morning and to have this opportunity to share a bit of myself with all of you today. For those who know me, I'm that one person who always says the answer for the question, what muffins did I have today? I also get mad at people for pressing the accessibility buttons for no reason or not recycling properly. But if you didn't know any of this, then hello. My name is Oiku, and it's a pleasure to meet with you. I've always valued people's names and the meaning behind them, because for me, they represent a part of their personality and who they are. My name, Oiku, or Oiku, when pronounced correctly with the fancy dots on the O and the U, means story in Turkish. It can be interpreted in many different ways, but I like to think of it as life stories of people. We're shaping our stories every single day, hour, minute, and second. And frankly, all these stories are tied together by an invisible string. Something that happens to you, a decision you take, always affects someone else. This connects all of us and our stories to each other. Every single one of our actions, how we choose to show up, and treat others creates a ripple effect in our surroundings. Even those things you do unconsciously and consider insignificant might be a game changer for someone else. So it is truly important to live with this awareness. I constantly try to remind myself that every single one of my actions influences how someone feels and make others feel. So even those small things we may not give a second thought to might be something that another person needs at that moment. We would never know what someone else is going through that day. So it is the key to treat people with kindness. Kindness is the most powerful way to touch someone's heart, to make someone feel loved, and to share that you respect them. It really is a superpower we all have in common, and the magic starts to happen when everyone truly realizes the value it has. The beautiful thing is that there's so many opportunities in a day we can show kindness to each other. It can be a smile you give to someone who seems upset, staying out with your roommate to listen and to comfort them, or holding the door for someone although you know Dr. Morse will give you a late. There are so many more examples I can give you for times we go out of our way to make someone else's day a bit better, to make them feel more loved, and to spread some positivity to those around us. The best part is that these acts don't have to be big. In fact, it's the smallest acts of kindness that makes the biggest difference when they all add up. I'm sure there are many examples we can all come up with for small acts of kindness that have so much meaning. For me, there's a specific example that stands out. It's my kindergarten bus driver who used to pick apples from his own garden for us to eat on our way home. He didn't have to spend all the time picking the apples and washing them, but he would do it just to see the smiles on our faces. And now, I still remember him after 11 years because of how he made us feel happy and special at the end of each school day. This is how powerful these small acts of kindness are. Although people might forget what that individual act of kindness was, they would never forget how it made them feel, and this is what makes them truly special. I'm sure all of you experienced that feeling of warm happiness after someone did something so small, but at a time you needed it the most. It can be that time someone complimented you genuinely, when your friend checked on you and asked how you were doing, or that time your roommate brought you coffee after study. Isn't it so awesome that how these small acts of kindness have such a big influence? I personally find it powerful how we can change others' stories by just showing them kindness and love in the simplest ways. Now think of this on a larger scale. Imagine if everyone in the school, in this city, in this country, and in this world started to look out, respect, and make the same effort to be kind to each other. The world will be a much happier and a more peaceful place. Because at the end of the day, we all experience the same human emotions: love, fear, joy, loss, friendship. When we start to realize that we're far more alike than we are different, and begin to celebrate those ties that binds us as well as what makes us unique, that's when we truly start to share kindness, respect, love, and start to forgive ourselves. Okay, I've been talking a lot about being kind, showing respect, and loving others, but there's something else that comes even before all of these. It is being kind, respecting, and loving yourself first before turning your attention to others. Have you all heard of that children's story, How Full Is Your Bucket? I've never heard of this story as a kid. In fact, I first heard of it last year during Faculty Chapel Week when Miss Dodd mentioned it, and read the 32-page book this year as a 16-year-old, but let's not talk about that. For those who's never heard of it before, it uses a simple metaphor and basically talks about these invisible buckets we carry around with us. When our bucket is full, we feel great. When it's empty, we feel awful. This kid, Felix, begins to see how every interaction in a day either fills or empties his bucket. Felix then realizes that everything he says or does to other people fills or empties theirs as well. Then he finds out how easy it is to fill his classmates, teachers, and family members' buckets. He also finds out that by filling others, he also fills his own. Such a smart kid. What this story tells us is simple. By doing nice things and being kind to others, we're not just filling others' buckets, but we're also filling ours. But what people don't always remember is that if we want to be able to fill someone else's, our own needs to be full. Sometimes we need to rely on ourselves or others to fill our buckets so that we can fill someone else's. This is when being kind and loving yourself part comes in. Although it is amazing to share all these heartwarming feelings with those around us, we can't just disregard ourselves. We need to be kind to ourselves before being kind to others. Most of the people, and in my opinion mostly adults, don't realize the importance of having a full bucket throughout the day. This is why it's so essential, and I can't stress this enough, to know the times when you need to prioritize yourself first and to treat yourself with kindness and care like you would treat a dear friend. This concept, known as self-compassion, is broken apart into three main components by Kristen Neff, a leading self-compassion researcher. She identifies these three main components as self-kindness, sense of common humanity, and mindfulness. I really like the way this term is broken apart, as it summarizes things perfectly. To start with, self-kindness is interpreted as acting in a kind and understanding way towards ourselves. Instead of criticizing yourself because things didn't go the way you wanted them to go, acknowledge how hard you've tried and celebrate that as an accomplishment. Next, a sense of common humanity. Recognizing that we all make mistakes and have our weaknesses. We're all growing, and it does take time. Change doesn't just happen all of a sudden. It is a journey. Rupi Kaur has put this into words perfectly. You don't just wake up and become the butterfly. Growth is a process. So have that sense of humanity at the times you face a challenge and fail. Instead of losing hope, seek for ways on how you can improve for the next time. Finally, mindfulness. Focusing on just the present without any judgment and truly engaging in the moment. As cliché as this sounds, we only have and can control the present moment. So it is the key to live every moment to its fullest potential. And as much as you try your best, have the courage to push yourself and have a kind heart full of love. Trust me, everything you wish for will come down your way, sooner or later. Now, I want to leave you with some simple challenges, and pay close attention to this part. From now on, I challenge you to put that extra effort to be a kinder person, both to yourself and to others. To becoming a better bucket filler, and to being a reason someone smiles. I challenge you to choose to be kind before anything else in this whole entire world, where we've been told we can choose to be anything. It won't take you long to realize how good it makes you feel and to realize how full it makes your bucket. Start today. Smile and compliment someone. Do it genuinely. Greet the people you see in the hallways. Show your appreciation to the people who are always there to support you. Say goodnight to your deck mates, or to the whole house, if you're Muska. Share that pack of gum you pretend not to have. Leave a kind note to your friend reminding them how much you care for them. Look out for one another and include everyone. And finally, don't forget to be kind to yourself while doing all of this, and let that kindness and love fill the whole entire world. Now will you please stand and join me singing 10 for